Hello, welcome to another video. It's Ultimate19 or Ultimate Gamer 19,000, and here today I am here to explain to you the Assassin Rogue in D&D 5e. Now for today's race we will be picking Bugbear. Now we'll get into this a little later. For our AS nice, we will be picking 2 to Dexterity, 1 to Wisdom. Wisdom in general is just a good stat. You could do Constitution, but I feel like with this build you don't really need much Constitution or any at all. And for our alignment, we will just be picking neutral. Now, we do get a whole bunch of stuff. Language proficiencies, pick whichever you like. Now, as a bugbear, you do get a whole lot of stuff. Really strong stuff. But the best feature we get is surprise attack. If you hit a creature with an attack roll, the creature takes an extra 2d6 damage if it hasn't taken a turn yet in the current combat. This feature can be very strong mixed with the Assassin Rogue's main feature. Also, we get proficiency in stealth without having to pick it. So, we can have more proficiencies as a rogue. And we all know rogues have very low proficiencies. Alright, so as a rogue, we can pick 4 proficiencies. So here, I think we are going to be picking perception. Perception is a very important one. We will be picking, of course, sleight of hand. Sleight of hand, again, very good one. Insight, another good wisdom-based one, and acrobatics. Those 4. We aren't picking stealth because of the bugbear already gives us stealth, but granted, if you want that, you can. Now we'll be taking stealth, and honestly, we'll do perception. When I imagine an assassin rogue, I imagine an assassin can scope out an area very good to get like the best vantage points to like slowly take out the prey or target. We also do get a bunch of other stuff as a level 1 rogue. For our building score improvements, we will be using the Dungeon Master's thing. They're not broken, they're good. Ask your dave if you can use them. We will be taking a nice juicy 17 into Dexterity. And honestly, I think we can take a 15 into Wisdom. Now for our Constitution, we will be taking that 12. 8 Strength, because again, Strength is useless. Now we will be taking a 10 Intelligence and then a 12 Charisma. Now these are the Dungeon Dude stat lineup, or what I remember them at least. The reason why Strength, we're Assassin, we don't need Strength. Dexterity, main attack stat. Constitution, honestly, we do not need Constitution for this build. We need very little Constitution for this build, and in general, I just don't think it's worth it doing anything with Constitution. Because with this build, we're going full long ranged. So we are taking a 10 Intelligence and a 15 Wisdom. Because Wisdom, with this build, we're going to have good insight. We're going to have a good perception. Because with an Assassin, I guess a lot of the flavor would be like putting yourself in the best positions to like take a sneak shot. Or you be stealth, then find a position where no one will be able to see you. And a 12 Charisma for Deception, and all that other good stuff. For background, pick any that you like. We'll just be picking Charlatan, because I feel like I see like some rogues are Charlatan. We do get Deception side hand with that, but granted, that is your personal preference. Now, so for this, I guess we'll be taking the Rapier because it is technically stronger. For here, we will be taking okay. So now this, actually, okay, if you're playing a rogue, sometimes I would recommend, it probably is better to just start off if you're starting wealth, because you do get a decent amount of stuff. You do have a pretty good modifier. So if you were to roll for your starting equipment, I would recommend getting some studded leather, a crossbow. Prefer 2 crossbows if you can. I think hand crossbows is the one that are best used, but one, preferably 2. But I know you may not be able to afford it. And thieves' tools; those are probably the best things you need, and also any other like small like stuff like that, other things you want. But since we don't, we'll just be taking short sword, short bow, and then like burglar's pack, I guess. And we do not get any spells or feats, so yeah, that is level 1. Now we'll be going to level 3, which we get our first Assassin Rogue feature, which is, well, the main one. And let's give me this. Now we get our main feature as an Assassin Rogue, which is, well, Assassinate. Starting at their level, you are at your deadliest when you drop on your enemies. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat yet. In addition, any hits you scroll against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit. Yes, it's as OP as it sounds. So basically, with Assassinate, you can get some absolutely wonkers damage mixed with your sneak attack. Also, now with your bugbear damage dice. So, at level 3, if you're able to land the Assassinate feature, you are going to be doing 8d6 no, 8d6. No, it wouldn't be 8. It would be 8d6 plus 2d8 damage at level 3. Now, that does sound very strong and very broken, because it is. That is very powerful. Now, you won't always be able to get your Assassinate feature, um, but it's still decently easy. And now, hot take: if you're playing Assassin Rogue, I do not recommend going over level 9. I feel like at level 8 is a good way to just part with the subclass in general, because all the other features are pretty meh at best. Um, for example, we got Infiltration Expertise. Starting at 9th level, you can okay. Create a false identity for yourself. You must spend 7 days and 25 gold pieces to establish the history, profession, and affiliation for an identity. You can establish an identity that belongs to someone else. Yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of this feature because holy hell, this feature just sucks. It's really bad. 7 days is such a massive cooldown for no reason. In reality, you can go to 9th level to get that extra d6, but let's not joke to ourselves. Once you get your first 8 levels, go to fighter or go to ranger. But since for the sake of this build, I will just be taking pure assassin, but I could not recommend you more that you just go pure, like, after 8th level, purely because you get an ASI. I do not recommend touching Assassin Rogue past 8th level if you are playing Assassin. Now, we do have a 19 dexterity. So there is a handy dandy website that will help us pick out the ASIs for Rogue. So if you go on Google and look up what feats increase stats in DND 5e. Now my writing's terrible. Get off my balls. Now if you go to this site called Just I do not know how to spell it, but it is very nice. It just prevents it. I'm not sponsored at all. We just found a website that was very useful. So now we'll just click on dexterity. Now we have every feat that says dexterity, and also we can get what type of things we have to have. So now looking here, I know the piercer. I don't know what piercer does exactly. So let's look. Piercer. What does piercer do? Increase. I feel like piercers are right. In reality, you can't get very many. Like you can't get very many half feats that are really strong. I feel like at the end of the day, you kind of just have to deal with whatever you can get. I mean, we'll just take Piercer, but if you have any other half feats that give you dexterity that you want to take them. We'll just be taking Piercer. I mean, it is a small damage amp, but not big enough that you really care for it. But at level 8, wait, you know what? Honestly, I think getting a 20 dexterity does not matter as much as getting sharpshooter does. So completely ignore what I said. At level 4, get sharpshooter. If you guys don't know what sharpshooter does, you can take a -5 and get a +10 to hit. No, you can take a -5 to hit, but do an extra 10 damage. That feature is very powerful. Now, another feature that when paired up can be really strong is crossbow. Matt is crossbow expert. If you don't know crossbow expert, it allows you to use your bonus action to do an additional attack. Now, this can also equal an auto crit, or if you miss with your first one, you got your crossbow expert. Now you may be saying, oh, it takes a bonus action to stealth. As an assassin rogue, I've met some DMs that are lenient when it comes to like things you can do right before a combat. For example, I know some DMs that allow you to roll a stealth right before the combat, and then roll initiative. So if you know your party's about to get into combat, ask your DM immediately, can I roll stealth? Right before anything. So like maybe like in the little like chatterings your guys might have before y'all start fighting each other, ask your DM, can I roll stealth? And in general, I recommend ask your DM first. Tell your DM you're playing an assassin rogue, and see what they'll be willing to let you do. Because the assassin rogue, it's definitely a more controversial subclass purely because it's really depending on like DM discretion. And at the end of the day, if your DM doesn't allow you to like make the assassin rogue to what you believe it should be, then it can really just suck the fun out of the class. But again, just ask your DM before you play this subclass. But yeah, level 13, we do get the imposter feature. You gain the ability to unearly mimic another person's speech, writing, and behavior. You must spend at least 3 hours studying these three components of the person's behavior, listening to speech, examining handwriting, observing mannerisms. Your ruse is indiscriminate to the casual observer. If your worried creature suspects something is amiss, you have advantage on any charisma deception checks. You must, yeah, this, again, another pretty useless feature. It's just the fact that you have to spend 3 hours to do it. It very, very little chances will it ever be good. But even at then, advantage on deception checks is eh. I I don't know. I've never met a DM watching Dungeons and Dragons that's ever been so annoying about that. So at level 10, we'll just be taking the Piercer feat to round up our dexterity. And then, now at level 12, honestly, take whatever feats you like. Now, this again, this is DM discretion. But with the Poisoner feat, you can actually get some pretty cool interactions. If your DM allows you to lace your arrows with poison right before combat or like during a short rest or whatever, then this feat gains infinitely more stuff. Because if you don't know, you can basically, this is a very toned down version. You can apply poison to a weapon, and then if the creatures get hit by it, it takes 2d8 poison damage, which is very strong. So level 13, I did miss the level 9 roundup because I was yabbering a little bit. So basically, at level 13, now if you get perfect on everything, you can land an assassinate that'll be dealing 2d8 damage. So you'd be dealing, oh no, that'll take a little, yeah, you do -5. But then you'd also be getting this doubled, plus the poisoners doubled, plus your bugbear's ability doubled. So as you can see, your damage can really add up with this build. And as you guys noticed, a lot of the damage this build can make doesn't really come from Assassin Rogue. It really comes from the sneak attack damage, which yes, an extra d6 is nice, but again, just take Gloomstalker Ranger, it'll do you way better. But overall, this build is good, it's just, man, it's... You can do massive damage, but again, this build is the definition of DM discretion. But we're not even at the final thoughts. So at the final thoughts, I will explain a little more how about it. But let's get into the final level 17 feature. Starting at the 17th level, you become a master of instant death. When you attack and hit a creature that's surprised, it must make a con saving throw. It's your Dex plus PB, DCA. On a failed save, double the damage of your attack against a creature. Now, this is basically just assassinate, but on, on illicit substances. This just makes your this is basically assassinate plus 2 times 2. Granted, it's a level 17 feature. It's definitely not worth waiting until level 17 to gain that feature. It never will be. Oh, with the level 16, 19A size, but whatever you like. Yeah. But so yeah, now we have, so our this build's maximum damage would be if you're using a crossbow expert and are able to land your assassinate and are able to get your poison off, which in some cases you will be able to do that. So if we were to, so basically we'd be doing sharpshooter with the poisoners and all of this. So we'll do that and then roll that twice. As you can see, we can do a whole lot of damage. We can do, that's 100 right there. Now, did I roll really bad? I ain't saying I write rules. Now, yeah, as you can see, the sneak attack it can vary a lot if you roll good or roll really bad. Now, do I think the assassin rogue is bad? No. Do I think it's good? No. This is the definition of a C or B tier, and honestly, I think I'm gonna rank it a 5 out of 10. The base class alone, it's nearing 4 out of 10 because of how bad the level 13, 9, and 13 features are. And also, Assassinate is very powerful, but not having a subclass feature for 6 levels, ugh, that hurts. 6 levels of having no subclass features, yeah. Overall, this subclass I think tries to land a fantasy, but just misses it with how poorly some of the features are designed. Now, I am thinking of making an assassin rogue, like revised version, that has to deal more with like the assassin's poisons, which I am thinking of making that. So overall, final thoughts: this build, the assassin rogue is alright. Now, if you were to play an assassin rogue, do I recommend the build I made? No, definitely not. Later on I probably will make a video on how to truly make an assassin's rogue. Now, if you play the assassin's rogue, will you have fun? Yes. If your DM is nice enough, you can have a lot of fun with this build. But if your DM's a stickler for the rules, then this build will be hella on fun. But again, that's just my opinions. If you disagree, leave it below. If you agree, leave it below. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, nearly daily, D&D and other stuff, and other things videos. I hope you guys all enjoyed. OT19, signing up. Peace!